Hi everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. It's almost New Year's, which brings us to today's recipe. Today's recipe is a good fortune casserole that involves three items that I've always been told to eat for New Year's because they bring you good luck, and some other stuff because it's black-eyed peas, collard greens, and pork. And pork, always delicious. But black-eyed peas and collard greens can be a real hit or miss in how you make them. I've been kind of working for years to figure out something that made them palatable to most people who might be eating them. And last year I kind of just tossed together this casserole and it worked out pretty well. And I know what you're thinking, 2020's been nuts, Kaitlin. It's been nuts. So was it really good fortune? But you know what? My husband and I have been very fortunate with our work situations, with our health. Our family and friends, for the most part, have been pretty good. So I'd say overall, given how crazy this year has been, we had a lot of good fortune for us. So I'm doing the casserole again. I recommend y'all do it too. Let's get to it.
It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy!
Alright, so it's easy enough. This is a package of dirty rice that I cook according to the instructions and a couple cups of water. So you just get a package of dirty rice you like, you do the same. Last year I was able to get instant dirty rice because I did not use my stovetop last year and kind of forgotten. And then I was like, right, it was instant dirty rice, which was not available this year. So just get a package of it, kind of the regular size package, not the individual serving, like a regular size package. Cook it according to instructions like I'm doing. It just needs to simmer a little bit longer. And we'll work on the other ingredients during that time. Alright, first we're going to cut up a couple vegetables that I just happen to still have in my fridge that just want to use up. They're good in it. I tossed them in it last year too, because for the same reason, I still had some. I was like, these can't go wrong in this. So I'm putting in a little bit of onion, a little bit of celery. Just going to finely chop it so it just blends in there. I'm not going to use the whole onion, that would be way too much. See, I just used about a quarter of the onion. That's about all we want because dirty rice has a good bit of flavor to it. And I've got 2 stalks of celery out because I think I've got to cut off some chunks of each of them. Just going to use what I want, so I've got 2 out in case you need a second one. I might only need 1. But it's just a little something. You don't have to add them. I think it would be just as flavorful either way. But I've still got them in my fridge, so we're just using them up. Because that's the beauty of a casserole. Just kind of dump stuff. And it usually works. And a savory, adding onions and celery is usually a safe bet as well. For it, scrape that over to the side. We'll save the rest of the onion for other things. We'll start with that. It's chopped off. Never eat this part. It's just too odd. So this may be enough. I may not need that stock. So show me how to just eat it. I don't know by now. I can do celery and stuff like this. Otherwise, no, thank you. So what's that mean? Celery is 95% water, 100% not bacon. I right there for it. That might honestly be all we really need. Yeah. Winning. And pause, you guys. Alright, Alright, so I put them in our mixing bowl, and now we've got a huge amount of andouille. It's almost a pound. I'm going to get it out of the packaging, then we'll chop it up. Alright, so you want to use at least half a pound, if not the full pound, kind of depending on your preference. I'm going to chop up the half pound first, just to kind of see how much it really makes. If we hadn't, I'm sure we just ate better on its own or with something else. It wasn't going to last. I feel like that's all we did was half a pound of andouille for the casserole last year. I should have written it down more. Felt like I had photos that went with it. Because obviously it's before I started this. I can't find them, so I have no idea what went on with that. But you see, like half a pound yields you quite a bit. You chop it up. You get those nice bite-sized pieces, so it goes throughout. Of course, the other half, always save it and toss up in little chunks on the grill or on the oven. It can be an appetizer. But so, this is one of our 3 good luck ingredients. So this is pork. You need pork for the new year because pigs are animals that root with their snouts, and as they look for things and they're going forward, they always root forward. So we eat pork so that we move forward in our lives in the new year. The more you know. But I always think it's interesting to know why we eat such things. That's why we eat pork. Not just because it is delicious. I'm sure there are other reasons. I saw other stuff where people think it's this and that, but that's the most commonly accepted reason. Some of them also that during the Civil War, people hadn't been eating pig, the pork stuff, thinking it was below the common man or meant for the horses, or I don't even know what. I don't think horses eat meat, so that doesn't make much sense. Maybe that was a bad theory. The army felt lucky to have pork over the harsh winter and into the new year. But I think that's probably the other one because they said feeding the animals, but all they had listed were horses, and horses don't eat meat. They don't. Their teeth can't do that. Okay. But there you go. So that's it on pork. Hang tight. Alright, our next good luck item, it's definitely a controversial one, is the black-eyed peas. So it's a can of drained black-eyed peas we're pouring in here. And black-eyed peas are considered lucky, especially in the South, but it's traveling elsewhere now. And the main reason I could find behind that is that beans, when you cook them, expand. And black-eyed peas, the way they expand on that little dot and stuff, was just seen as a very good luck symbol. It was also reminiscent of money in other cultures, from other people. So we see that being similar to that, the fact that peas, legumes, and such expand, thus your wealth expands. So you might be able to get away with another type of pea or a bean or what have you, but black-eyed peas are the most commonly accepted one for it due to both of those things. So that's why we do that. All right. Our last good luck ingredient for this casserole is collard greens, because greens in general are an accepted New Year's tradition due to the idea of prosperity related to money. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be massively wealthy within the year if you eat your collard greens, but even just that you may know some prosperity, or at the very least financial stability, and security, which is important as well. Put that in there. Our rice is almost done. I'm going to give this a good stir through. Get everything combined before we get the rice in there with it. Some other stuff. And I'm going to add in a few little seasonings. You can season how you want. The dirty rice has a pretty solid seasoning, but just to get some stuff on this, I'm going to add a few things, so hang on. Alright, so we're adding a little bit of Tony's because that'll kind of blend it in with the dirty rice flavor since it's a Cajun seasoning. And then just manage a teaspoon of garlic. That's all. You don't need much else. Now the rice is ready. Sorry, the timer was going off. Pause. Alright. And I just did a package because this was a lot of stuff and I just didn't want it to be so intensely heavy with the rice. If you really like a lot of rice for your casserole, by all means, get you a second packet. But just know it's going to be that much more food. So get it all nicely blended in there. And while this has just got 3, I know there's a few other things people eat for good luck. One of them is cornbread, which is a great side for this kind of casserole. It's very southern in flavor. And cornbread is a good southern person's casserole. Right. The other is 12 grapes at midnight to just bring good luck for the new year. It's just its own thing, you don't have to fit that into. Alright, we've just got 2 cups of cheddar. I'm going to do most of it in there. There's the oven preheated to 350 and save some to sprinkle on top. Alright, you could just do this in one big casserole dish. This makes so much that we're going to share with a friend because we happen to have her casserole dish with us. There you go. Gonna share the wealth. And return the dish at the same time. Spread. So just about every bite, when you see that grain through everything, that andouille's been chopped up so small it's everywhere, those beans are everywhere. I would think it would be almost impossible to take a bite and not get all 3 of those. All right, do that. Sorry guys, that was leaning up against me, so I accidentally turned the speaker off for a second. Mea culpa. It looks like it's back on. I will need to charge the battery today. Alright, we're just sprinkling some of the last of the cheese on top. And we're going to put them in the oven about 20-25 minutes. Alright, so they cooked about 25 minutes. They're looking good. That andouille smells really, really good. Alright guys, bon appetit and Happy New Year.